It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. We can hardly wait for the start of this one, and it's all up next.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, sixth-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
And how about this young man? Took the NFL world by storm. As a sixth-round rookie, signature mullet, mustache, but 21 touchdowns for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great personality, and everyone gravitates towards this guy. Teammates love to win with a quarterback who leads them like that, and fans love to root for a guy who seems just like them.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Minshew sets to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Here's Minshew. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's Madison running on first down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Minshew. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. Feeling the pressure here and And taken down. A sack back at the 7. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They go play action with Burrow. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Burrow looking to pass. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Again, it's Burrow. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here comes Abdullah on the return. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. There's a short throw taken in by Bryant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 43, here's second down and 1. They'll go Madison up the middle. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Out of the gun is Minshew. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. To throw again on second down. Minshew, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Here's a give to Madison running right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2nd and 9.
Here we go.
Now Burrow down around his goal line. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Burrow. Steps away to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
He'll drop this underneath the moss. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Chase the motion man right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. From the 46, here's the second down and 6.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Only able to gain a couple there. And now we've got a third down and 3.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Burrow will throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 43 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A yard all they need, but it's third down. Look at this, a tight end carry. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now O'Connell. Forced out to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Madison. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And O'Connell now to throw. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
They were backed up behind the sticks, but he still found a way to make that first down happen. That's the kind of fight every coach hopes his franchise quarterback has in him. look a tough situation like that in the eye and come up with a solution on the spot.
Now we give to Madison. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Going to run with Madison again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now it's O'Connell. Flush to his right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Joe Burrow back out there for the next Bengal possession. And the football has not touched the ground yet. He's 10 of 10, including the touchdown on the last drive as they begin here with a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
An inside give, Brown. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Being chased out left. Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the 1st. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. He's got it to the 43 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground.
But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this is going to remain a 1-point game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, You give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
This offense returns to the fold along with running back Alexander Madison. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. O'Connell working from the gun. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Across the line and to the ball quickly there, Trey Hendrickson.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
That's complete into the hands of Myers. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going. We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now a 3rd and 6. Here's Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Gun. Stop. 12. Stop.
Burrow on play action. And it'll be intercepted. And the Raiders force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Charlie Jones now to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll set up a throw. He will find his man Chase complete. Loose inside the 30. Jamar Chase. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 5. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. They'll run with Madison. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 81 yards here for Madison. He's got a first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll go play action here with Minshew. This is caught by Tucker. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Madison. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Off play action, it's Minshew. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. A carry here for the big tight end. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now Minshew. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Minshew. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sand. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to make it 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as the tackle made up near the 35.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Able to find Higgins.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard.
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
11. 180. 180.
Burrow will throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46. Now Burrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Burrow.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape. 11 MT.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
11.
Looking to throw on 2nd down.
Burrow.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
11 mighty.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
And he'll spot Higgins open left side.
And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. To the air again, Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Here we go. Shot.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he wisely will throw that one away. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now it's Burrow.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Chase Brown
Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th.
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Madison. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. It'll be Minshew again. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time. But now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
The Bengals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
11, Thomas.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side. And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he'll get this down to the 41. It's a pickup of 6.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Open man is Yoshivas. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now it's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
11 MT, 11 MT, 11 MT. On
1st and 10, here's Brown. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there, getting the safeties involved in run support.
11, 12.
Brown once more. But he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal. Burrow. And it's caught. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
I don't care what the analytics say. Look at where they are on the field. To me, that just screams go for it here. I don't even think about putting a kicker out there. What say you?
I support whatever they do. Let's find out.
Look at you, man of the people.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Minshew sets to throw. He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Back to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 37. From the gun, Minshew to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Minshew. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead as that leads us to fourth. Minshew not coming off. They'll try and go for it. On fourth down, Minshew. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And the Bengals will get the football back. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Burrow looking to pass. This one complete to Yoshivas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Get set. Stop.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Here we go. 180. Nice one.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's 1st and 10. Minshew. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores, you know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
Now Minshew.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
The Bengals offense and Jamar Chase set to take over once more, and he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.